Welkom by Kurb, dis die Double D van skate shows. Ons weeklikse DVD preview kom met die Chronicles van Mark Gonzalez, dis Crooked Chronicles. Woodies help jou met jou grindbox DIY skills en ons gaan kyk hoe vorder die collaboration tussen Revolution en Woodstock vir die groot fees. Maar genoeg daarvan, ons main feature vandag is deel 1 van die Indigo skate camp in Zululand se Valley of 1000 Hills. Hierdie projek is 'n kombinasie van skate en community development en gee die laities in die area kans om uit die moeilikheid te bly en aan hulle skills te werk. Dis Kurb se Oprah moment.
We are on the Umgeni River, which is somewhere between Maritzburg and Durban. It's about 40 km out of Durban. It's a really lost civilization. No one really came down here until a few years ago. It's been left for the Zulus, so it's pretty wild. As I traveled around the world, and I really enjoyed rural areas, probably more than cities, and found the way that foreigners would come to our country and the door wouldn't be open to a rural area. There'd be no reason to visit a rural area. So I figured I'd use what I know as skateboarding and bring skateboarding to a rural area, and also to see what the Zulu children might develop out of skating and how they might take skateboarding in their hands and grow it in a way that's never been done before. And just because they're so isolated, that they'd have the chance to mold skateboarding in their own unique way. And I think the way the world's moving as like a one global force with all the magazines and interference and all programming, everyone's just following a clone there. So I'd rather create something on its own, isolated, and it's almost like let's keep it primitive. The idea of skateboarding coming here, it's gone on so many tangents now that it's gone from a sport-based program to a family program, to a friendship, and it's providing work opportunities, it's providing hope for many people. So we've got like an intricate team now of individuals, and the nice thing is that they're all coming of age in their teens now, so they're all looking for their way into the world, and I think we're creating many opportunities for many of the youngsters here. Yeah, I've got a good crew of workers right now. I'd say 80% of them were unskilled labourers, and now they're pretty clued up on how to use the drill and do the basic bits. I suppose I'd come in a bit with the science. All the kids would be their hands, and then I have one or two men in the village who had the skills before. I could just tweak them and make them for skateboarding obstacles. And I see a construction team in the making. I mean, it's there already. Yeah, in 2001 we started first youth camps in the area, a little more than a couple kickers and a grind bar. Yeah, the idea was always there to start a youth camp for skateboarding, like as a skate camp would be, say, Visalia in the States. Just looking at something else we didn't have in this country that would accommodate the growing needs. So maybe make parents go, oh look Johnny, you can go to camp. Like there's something more like structured and organized in skateboarding, as it's pretty loose and fragmented. So I looked out for a community that would benefit from us moving through it and having a presence here, rather than, you know, chopping around places to stay. I rather wanted to build a relationship with a group of people, and I'm very glad I chose that route, because now I have many friends and family out here, and oftentimes feels very much like home. And being able to watch the progression of skating and seeing everything come together, it's probably the best part of it all.
Right, ons vir die bills gaan betaal, maar na die breek nog oor die Indigo skate camp. Ons vang op met Lingo se Crooked Chronicle DVD preview en almal se favorite, Bales. Die Indigo skate camp bestaan al vir byna 5 jaar, maar het obviously 'n klein begin gehad met die eerste ramp wat terug in 2002 gebou is. Dallas, vertel ons meer.
2002 we had Mike V come out. It was a good push to build something more long term. So we built a half pipe down here in the Msomi household, figuring it's the easiest way to bring skateboarding and just drop it in the middle of anywhere. And we chose a really picturesque setting. And yeah, you can get instant satisfaction from riding a mini ramp. There you go, you're up and down, and you're instantly enjoying the motion of skateboarding. And from there, just now, a year ago, we've started our expansion with our concrete strip, as well as our 9-foot heading up to vert ramp. This whole spot is about as picturesque as could be for skateboarding. We got our vert section up there. You know, talking to Tony Hawk, he was really the guy who said to me, hang on, like I was like, yeah, I'm building a vert ramp next to my mini ramp. And he was like, no, hang on, kids need to progress. There's no way you can take a kid that skated a 5 foot, as we got behind here, and say skate vert, unless he's, yeah, Tony Hawk's son. We cut down the ramp to about a 9.5 foot, and as you see, the guys are hitting it, so they got a taste of vert there. Let them feel that vert off. If possible, we might even extend the ramp that way and add a bit of vert. But I tell you, building under the circumstances, it's all about the circumstances. And out here, it's like, oh, drill bit's broken, see you tomorrow. Thanks to the Sports Trust, who gave us 50,000 Rand to get started, as well as Element in the States gave us $5,000. And thanks to anyone who's lent a hand and broken their back trying to build this guy. Thanks to Woodies Ramps for getting us started here. Jamie came up from Cape Town on you know, just a quick call, always willing to help. That's what skating brotherhood's about, I guess. Everyone always looking towards building skating and willing to put time in, you know. We pretty much built this ramp, and then there was just bush behind us here. And I looked at the options of either building the hip off that side or this side, and it turned out, once again, you got to consult the family, consult tradition, and realize that we couldn't build it this way, as there's a tree there with ancestral graves. So there's so many elements that come into building out in the traditional area, like, no, you can't skate today, the ancestors don't want to hear noise, or somebody died over the hill there, so no one can skate for 2 weeks. There's so much to learn out here, and such rich traditions, that you don't want to be messing with them. You don't want to honor them and live with them, and, you know, see what you can learn from. Cool, this is actually a do-it-yourself. I mean, these guys built their own grind box here, props. I mean, we left some tools and screws here. And that's a Zulu-style grind box, okay? You've got a little flat bank here where the kids can get their first elements of turning, like with pretty much ease, as well as technical flips. So the way I felt that kids could roll into it as well as learn how to ollie into it. Okay, so it enables progression. A lot of finishing work. We finished this at about, well, I left at about 5 or 6 in the evening. I had to run to pick up some skate camp kids in Westville, came back, and my 2 guys that were finishing it were working here with 1-2 candles, finishing it off like until 11 o'clock at night with candlelight. So, and it's got such a smooth finish that I'm stoked to continue, and, you know, now that we've got this technique down, we can build more. And once we have the concrete bowl section in place there, it's going to be high flying. I'm pretty stoked the way these guys are learning to skate transition and enjoying transition, as you know, the majority of people prefer tech skating. So I think it's cool for the ball riders of the future.
Meer oor Zululand en die Indigo skatecamp later, maar eers is tyd om op te vang met Lingo en ons weeklikse skate DVD preview, Crooked Chronicles. Ons het cheers vir eers, maar na die breek vang ons weer op met Dallas. Ons kyk hoe vorder die Revolution Woodstock saga vir die groot rockfees, en die Woodies wys hoe hulle te werk gaan met hout en skroewe. Verlede week het ons julle vertel van die Revolution Stage wat by Woodstock gaan rock. Dis 'n massive collaboration tussen skating en rock and roll. Verlede week het ons gesien die skatepark is op dreef, maar wat is 'n rockfees sonder bands en fans? Die week sort hulle die logistics uit as dit kom by staging en bemarking.
Getting all our ducks in a row before we kind of kick everything off. Just getting everything tied up before the 30th of September when everything kicks off and has to be ready by. So.
Die regte fotograaf is ook 'n ernstige besluit. Kies daai announs.
Oh, you're doing posters, flyers, like viral marketing. I mean, you know, I kind of like, a lot of, kids already know. We're lucky to be in that kind of market where it's kind of almost a word of mouth market. Punk kids, hardcore kids, like metal kids, they tell each other, what's up and things like that, so. I think we have like a nice mix of bands. We obviously have some punk stuff, some emo stuff, some hardcore stuff. We have Bloodline, we have Misled. And it's not only music, that's kind of like what they can expect, associated with the stage. I mean, we'll be doing lots of giveaways, lots of competitions. There'll be lots of fun things. We've got, a lot of surprises in store for the kids for that day. Yeah. I think it's always been a good thing, and it's always been happening. I mean, Revolution themselves have been in music for years. Especially associated with like the kind of like music I'm associated with. I think skaters have a bit of taste in music than most kids. They're more eclectic, they open themselves up to more things, or most of the skaters I've met. So it's a great time. I mean, it works well together. I mean, we all need something to something to skate to. So.
Check it uit, dis die Revolution Stage by Woodstock 2006. Op 'n ernstiger noot, die realiteit van enige community projek soos die Indigo Skate Camp is dat hulle hulp nodig het van mense en instansies met groot harte en soms groter wallets.
Yeah, from the start we've had Element Skateboards giving us skateboards and everything from clothing to shoes. Been with us for about 3 years now. And I really wanted to be with a company that follows our belief systems and that we can be sure of why they're in business and why we're doing what we're doing for the same reason, love for skateboarding and trying to harness nature to live in nature and without adversely affecting nature. I think our next step is to actually move a bit more into rural areas, if I can say, and build small half pipes in surrounding villages and rather make this as like the focal point where they could come on the weekends. Maybe after school they could skate their little half pipes. Maybe 10 to 15 and then on the weekend they could come out to the skate park. Yeah, I'd say the local kids are for sure improving. I think they just need a more constant presence of skaters here. The skate camps don't run often enough. We have about 7-8 camps a year, but more traffic we have of skateboarders, more kids will be inspired to skate. I mean, you know how it is. Friend comes around your house, you're gonna go skating. Otherwise, you're chilling. So. They need to drive like that, and I'd also like, I'm calling on any skaters around the world to really just be here. The more skateboarder presence we have here, the more inspired the locals will be. So it's really an invitation to bring out as many skaters as possible.
Today we're going to show you how to build a grind box. First thing you'll need is some wood, then some 2x4 slats, some steel copings, some screws, tools, and don't forget your friend's extra pair of hands. First off, we're going to screw the sides together. A good word to use for the sides, 18 more ply.
Space your beams evenly.
Zimsalabim! Okay, once you got the sides of your ground box on, you're going to get your copings and measure those up and drill some holes and then start mounting the copings.
Okay, once your holes are drilled in your coping, you're going to need to use bolts, nuts and washers to secure it.
And guys, it's always a good idea to remember, bolt your copings on from the bottom. You don't want anything sticking out the top that you're going to hook up on. Once you secure the copings, you can put the front of the box on. A good idea might be to cut yourself some handles so it's a bit easier to pick up once you're done.
The last step is to screw the top on. Jou skere doods is nou ready for grinding.
Dis weer kompetisietyd. Kurb gee 5 dubbelkaartjies na Woodstock te weg. Al wat jy moet doen is om hierdie stupid vraag te antwoord. Watter band speel nie op die Revolution stage nie? Bloodline, Misled of die Kaapse Klopse? SMS jou antwoord met Kurb en jy kan Woodstock toe gaan. Cheers.
Manager Union Buildings. Good afternoon. I want to ask you one question, sir. You see the names on that plate there? Yeah. Okay, what does that mean? Jy weet nie. Okay, gaan lees vir my een van die name op daai plaat gou. Gaan lees dit. Okay. Nou as dit jou pa was wat oorlede is, nee? Het jy die respek om dit te doen wat jy nou doen?
Ons raak ons
Nee meneer, ek is die grounds manager hier en julle vat hierdie ding nou en julle gaan speel op 'n ander plek of ek laat julle almal arresteer, hoor? Nee, maar dis die laaste keer. Julle vat nou hierdie goed en julle gaan speel op 'n ander plek. Dis nie 'n speelplek hierdie nie. Kom maar op met daai videokamera. Jy dink jy's baie snaaks, meneer.
Me?
carrying it back. I carried it, yeah.
Just film it.
Lekker. En cut. As dit direct film. That is when he's playing with fire. He wants to get burnt. He's playing with fire. He wants to get burnt. There's a battle.
Show me what you got. If you land it, you can pick it up right here.
Double cut.
Look, right there.